Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here as always to explore the source materials you've shared.
Yep. Our goal is to pull out those key bits of information, the important insights, just to help you get up to speed quickly.
Today, we're looking at an excerpt from a Fox News YouTube video transcript.
And it covers, well, a couple of pretty charged topics. First, there are these investigations around claims about a former president's fitness for office.
Right, and then it sort of shifts gears.
Yeah, it moves on to the controversies surrounding immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, both what agents are facing overseas and debates about their identity concealment here in the U.S.
So, quite a bit to unpack. And just a reminder, we're here to walk you through what this specific source is saying, the perspectives it includes.
Exactly. We're not taking sides or validating anything, just looking at the claims presented in the material you gave us.
Okay, let's get into it. The source kicks off with House Oversight Chairman James Comer.
And his subpoena for Kevin O'Connor, who was the former White House doctor.
And according to Comer, quoted in the source, this happened because O'Connor wouldn't do a voluntary interview.
Right. And the reason given for the subpoena, Comer wants to know if O'Connor helped, hide the former president's actual fitness level while in office.
The source also mentions it's not just Comer. Senate Republicans, others too, are apparently asking questions about who was really making the decisions back then.
And this is where it gets specific. The source brings up the use of an autopin.
An autopin.
Yeah, and the source describes this as, well, potentially illegal and a major scandal. That's the framing in the source.
Okay, but it does immediately provide the counterpoint, right?
It does. It includes the former president's statement saying, basically, I made the decisions. Any suggestion otherwise is ridiculous and false. So you get that denial right there.
Then the source features Congressman Chip Roy.
And his take, as presented there, is that the real issue is who is deciding. He directly mentions the president's mental capacity.
And he even references, according to the source, the Her Report language.
Yeah, that phrase, not all there, which came out of that classified documents probe, Roy connects it to this situation, according to the source.
And the source ties this to politics, mentioning a Politico headline suggesting this whole thing could be damaging for Democrats and some media outlets.
So you see how the source kind of weaves these things together, the subpoena, the medical side, the autopin claim, the mental capacity questions, political strategy. It builds a specific narrative.
Definitely highlights the intensity from that perspective. Okay, let's switch to the second main topic in the source. The challenges ICE agents are facing.
This part starts overseas in Djibouti. It sounds pretty grim, actually.
What does the source say?
It reports nearly a dozen ICE agents are sick, stuck in a metal shipping container. It's apparently over 100 degrees.
Wow. And what are they doing there?
They're guarding 8 criminal illegal aliens. The source says these individuals have convictions for things like murder, child sexual assault, and had deportation orders to South Sudan.
But they can't be deported.
Apparently not, because of a federal judge's order blocking the deportation, so the agents are stuck there.
And the conditions sound rough heat, malaria risk.
And even potential rocket attacks from nearby Houthis, according to the source. Really dangerous.
The source includes some strong reactions to this.
Oh, yeah. A Homeland Security spokesperson is quoted calling the judge's actions reprehensible and, quite frankly, pathological, saying the judge is putting lives in danger.
And Congressman Roy again.
His reaction, also in the source, is pretty fiery. Suggests the judge should go experience Djibouti, criticizes judges making decisions behind their desk with a pen.
Then the source brings it back home to the U.S.
Right. It notes ICE is making record numbers of arrests, single-day records apparently, but there's controversy around agents hiding their identities.
Wearing masks or concealing faces during operations.
Exactly. And the source shows a real split here. You have Mayor Michelle Wu reportedly comparing masked ICE agents to a white supremacist group, N131, saying it's not standard police practice.
That's a strong comparison.
And then House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is quoted saying agents hiding identities will be unsuccessful, they'll be identified, calling it aggressive overreach, like the Soviet Union, not America.
Strong words. But there's pushback presented too.
Yes. House Speaker Mike Johnson reportedly calls those criticisms absurd, especially, he notes, from people who mandated masks recently. He says critics should back off.
And Chip Roy again.
He defends the agents, according to the source, saying they need to hide identities for safety to avoid being targeted by criminals. He contrasts this with Democrats claiming to back the blue.
So you really see the clash there in the source. Different views on security, procedure, agent safety, due process, and it's all kind of colliding.
Absolutely. It really lays out the friction points in these debates as presented in this particular video.
So wrapping this deep dive up, we've walked you through how this specific source presents these two key areas: the political investigations into presidential fitness and the autopin claims.
And the really difficult situations facing ICE, from that extreme scenario in Djibouti to the arguments over agent identity here at home.
And again, our aim was just to guide you through the claims and tensions highlighted in this source that you shared.
We're just reflecting what's in the material.
Exactly. So as you think about this, maybe consider this. When you encounter sources like this one, presenting strong accusations alongside strong defenses, especially on charged issues involving government actions or political figures, how do you personally navigate that? How do you weigh the competing claims based on how they're presented? Something to think about.